And Terry Pheto, who will be speaking to us in a short moment, also commenting here, saying, happy Adnom Zamambata Day. Congratulations, Zamo. You've worked extremely hard for the moment. We are all proud of you. And on that note, let's get into our discussion with award-winning actress Terry Pheto. On the 6th of March in 2006, South Africa made history when Gavid Hood directed the film Tsotsi, starring young actors like Presley, Chweneyagae, Terry Pheto, who won the Oscar for the Best Foreign Language Film at the Academy Awards in Hollywood. Now, the screen adaptation of Ethel Fugard's classic stage play is set amidst the sprawling Johannesburg township of Soweto, where survival is the primary objective. Tsotsi, or Thug, traces 6 days in the life of a ruthless young gang leader who ends up caring for a baby by accident, kidnapped during a carjacking. Now, 15 years on, this historic moment created a momentum for more historic moments in the South African film industry on a global platform. Let's now take a look back at that historic moment.
Since I'm here to present the award for Best Foreign Language Film, I thought that this might be a good time to say hello to all the tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people watching around the world. So, here we go. Konnichiwa. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Mi primo io fuimos a ver las películas en el centro de Filadelfia durante mi vacaciones de Navidad. Hey, what happens in Bangkok stays in Bangkok. Now, the award for Best Foreign Language Film. The nominees are Don't Tell from Italy, Cristina Comencini. Joyeux Noël from France, Christian Carrion. Paradise Now from the Palestinian territories, Hani Abu Assad. Sophie Scholl, The Final Days from Germany, Mark Rotherman. Tsotsi from South Africa, Gavid Hood. And the Oscar goes to Tsotsi. Accepting the award, director Gavid Hood.
This is the first Academy Award and second consecutive nomination for South Africa, with last year's nomination for the film Yesterday.
Nkosi sikelele Africa. God bless Africa. Wow. I have a speech, it's in my pocket, but that thing says 38 seconds and mine's way too long. So go to Tsotsi.com and there's a huge long list of people, because I'm accepting this not for myself. This is for Best Foreign Language Film. And sitting right there to start with, please stand up. Presley, Chweneyagae and Terry Pheto, my two fantastic young leads. Put the cameras on them, please. Ngiyabonga kakhulu mfowethu and Sisi. Viva Africa, viva! Amandla! I got 10 seconds. 10 seconds, I just want to thank my fellow nominees who I've become deep friends with. We may have foreign language films, but our stories are the same as your stories. They're about the human heart and emotion. It says, please rap. Thank you so much. Thank you, the Academy. Thank you.
Oh, wow, what a fantastic night. I wasn't there, but I saw it all play out, and watching it all over again. Let's just get the general feeling and sentiment. On the line, I have Terry Pheto, the award-winning actress. Terry, very good morning to you. It was 15 years ago. It was 2006, the glitz, the glamour. Did you ever see it coming?
Good morning, Paul. Absolutely not. I think it was, I knew it was possible, but I didn't anticipate that the moment will happen so soon in my career. And it was absolutely fantastic. I was, I mean, even now, just like, seeing those clips over and over again. I still get goosebumps. The moment is still, feels like it was 3-4 years ago. It doesn't feel like it was 15 years ago. And yeah, it was one of those once in a lifetime moments. And even if, more films win an Oscar, but that particular moment will stay with me forever.
With this, one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, how do you think that this platform has now moved you to the great strides and the big platforms that you're now on?
It was almost like getting a grand entrance in the industry, and the reception was fantastic. If your first film wins an Oscar, where do you go from there? You can only dream bigger, or you can only work harder. So for me, it was important to not just focus on that moment, because it's almost like a hit song. When you have a hit song, I knew I wanted a career. I knew I wanted to have more than just that moment. So I knew the work only began the minute I got back home, and I knew I had to pick the right project, work on stories that I believe in, and try and bring life to characters and voice to characters that haven't had a voice. So it's been a beautiful journey, I must say. It's been inspirational even to myself to look back and say that moment at the Oscars. I was just coming from community theatre in Soweto. So it was such a big, growth that I knew I have to push myself harder. And I had set certain goals for myself. I knew that, in 10 years I wanted to be a producer. I knew that 10 years later I wanted to be a director. And so I'm very happy that I'm sticking to the plan.
Now, you have really done tremendous work in your space, working as a producer, rubbing shoulders with the who's of Hollywood. When you look at that door and the platform that you're now standing on, what do you think, looking back home? I mean, I saw you put on Twitter there, congratulating Nomzamo Mbatha for her role, also making it in the Hollywood space. Do you think that there's enough room and enough talent in South Africa to really continue to shine the flag?
Oh, absolutely. We've always had talent. We've always had incredible talent. And even for me, before there was me and that moment that you just played right now, there was Leleti Kumane the year before was yesterday. And there was Leleti with Sarafina. So there's always been someone, Ntati Moshesh, Bonnie Mbuli. So there's always been, incredible talented women that I was able to look up to and say, hey, if she can do this, I can do it, too. It's possible for me too. And now the world has changed so much. The world is such a small community. It's not like before where, after this Oscar moment, I had to, grab my little phone, call my mom, call back home. Now you can interact with people immediately because there was no social media 15 years ago. So right now, with also, the streaming platforms that are there, it's so easy for our world to travel, and not only through international projects, but even with local projects that have, potential to travel. We've seen Quinsono, the success of Quinsono. It was, a South African short production, an African original, and it traveled the world. It was seen in over 100 countries. So we do have the talent, and there's no better time than now to be a storyteller and to be a Black storyteller, because now our voice are not silenced. Our stories are important. We have room. So the sky's the limit for us.
Absolutely. And I may ask you, Terry, to please stay put for us as we will continue this conversation in a short bill, really just looking at the impact of COVID-19 in the film space. That conversation coming up with the award-winning actress and producer, Terry Pheto. Stay tuned. Welcome and welcome back to Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, the AM edition of Newsfeed. Still in conversation with award-winning actress, producer, and director there, Pheto, speaking to us about the many strides that she's made in her career. And with the COVID-19 pandemic being a big factor in the world of film and also affecting the world over. Terry, welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. This pandemic, the past year, has really changed life as we know it. And the South African film industry was one of the hardest hit. We recently saw the South African movie franchise Ster-Kinekor confirming that it has no other option but to go into voluntary business rescue proceedings, saying that the COVID-19 has had a massive impact on its finances. What are your thoughts around the impact of COVID-19 in the space of film and perhaps some of the bigger innovations that should come out of it?
Well, I think our industry has been going through, challenges for a very long time, and the pandemic kind of exposed those things that were always there. In the bigger scheme of things, everyone is affected, but I think for South African talent, especially actors and filmmakers, independent filmmakers who depend on, friends and favors and small grants, we're more exposed because we are not protected. But this is an ongoing discussion that, various stakeholders have been engaging the Minister of Arts and Culture. And I feel like if we don't take advantage of this moment and do right by our actors, we're just gonna, go down history book as, a country that failed its talent. And without talent and storytelling, I don't know who will be. There's been great, initiative. There's been great support there and there where one can apply for funds. But for most people who don't have access to those things, the industry has been very harsh. Because some of the grants that are there were there to support people that already had projects. So if you're an actor that was just waiting for that call from your agent, chances are you've been waiting for the past 2 years. With that said, things are opening up. It's not all, all bad. There are some positive things that came. I know, myself and some of my friends, we took this moment to say, what can we do? I know a lot of people that have been writing during this pandemic. I know a lot of stories are going to come up. So I hope that there will be enough support, when all of this is over, to make sure that those stories are being told. With every disaster or pandemic, there's still an opportunity. And I feel like this is a chance for us to take care of our own, to make sure that actors that have dedicated their entire lives are not struggling, to make sure that, our legends that are in their 70s are not queuing for auditions. I hope that, we'll, in 10 years or in 5 years from now, when you and I have a different conversation, we'll be looking at how the pandemic has helped South African talent, the same way South African talent helped, the country during a pandemic of apartheid.
Absolutely. And very lastly, before we let you go, I mean, you speak about the opportunities, you speak about how this was essentially a time for many artists to write and detail their own stories. What are some of your exciting projects that you're working on?
Like I said, when we, have another conversation very soon, hopefully,
yes.
Get into details, but I'm producing a couple of films. I've got a slate of projects. With one I'll be directing, one of the projects I'll be directing. So I'm quite nervous and excited about that. A lot of amazing acting opportunities. I'm working on, a project with my friend, Kate Licorice, and, and some incredible talent that, have big, profiles that will be part of our project. So that's quite exciting. So there's a lot coming up. I'm still acting. I haven't, moved away from that. I'm just finding different interesting ways of still telling story, whether I'm a, producer, a director, a casting director. I still want to grow in this industry, and it's been fantastic. So I've got a slate of films and animation, and but my feature film that I produced that is coming out later this year, Courting Anati, will be out very, very soon. But I'll keep you guys posted because I do need your support.
Absolutely. Nervous and exciting, Terry, are fantastic feelings to carry at the same time. Thank you so much for your time. That was award-winning actress and producer Terry Pheto, giving us a sense and a sneak preview into some of her latest projects, as well as the impact of COVID-19 on the South African film industry. There is hope.